Well, kids, sadly my cheapo air conditioner repair did not last very long. I got about 3 weeks out of it. I'm gonna crap that again. So I'm throwing in the towel. Spent the money, bought the Denso, $250. I was gonna pay a local shop to put it in because I've done that before and they charged me about $300-400 to put it in. So I went by and talked to them the other day and they wanted $1,100 labor to put this in to this Honda Element. And I am way too cheap for that. How hard can it be? Now to replace the compressor, obviously, we have to open the system, the Freon system. The first step in dealing with that is to make sure that your system has been purged. That same shop that wanted $1,000 to replace my compressor wanted a whole lot less to suck the Freon out of it. There's really no pressure there. This little blue cap, the low pressure side. So now we're safe to go ahead and open the system. Quick water break. So I'm going to be going with the method of dropping the front of the subframe. We're going to start off by removing this middle motor mount bolt. Hopefully you could see this. If not, go back and watch my motor mount video and it'll show you how to get that off. Into the bucket. Next bolt we're going after is the big ass subframe bolt. Wrong socket. Looking for a 17, I think. Yeah, 17. Tell me to take these out about halfway. Then these front ones need to come out all the way. Another one right here by this tow hook. Did you know your car had tow hooks? Get my head out from under this. How about that? I happen to like my head. Right, there she is, dropped all the way down. See how much movement we get out of that? That should be enough room to get that compressor out. This is my wiring from my compressor. It's all hanging down and goofy. We'll fix all that while we're working on this, but let's unplug it. Unplug it. So we can refer back to our junkyard compressor, see that we've got 4 bolts. They're 12mm that hold it in. 2 of them are gonna be easy to get out. 2 of them are a little more tricky. We've got 1 hose to unhook, 2 hoses to unhook, and we should be ready to go, right? So I've collected an assortment of 12mm things. Let's see which one it takes to get this off. All right, Ingersoll ran. Does it work? Not really a good way to get at that, is there? Let's try this. Yeah. Number 1. It's hotter than Satan's taint out here. So I am highly motivated to solve this conundrum. It's like my feet are on fire. 2 bolts. Blind myself staring into the sun. All right, let's see if this works. I got a wobble on a socket, on a wobble on an extension. Whoa. It's a little tricky to see because I'm looking into the freaking sun. There's those 2 bolts. Well, now if we can wrestle that out, I can unhook those coolant lines. They're both 10mm. So there's a little bit of angle on the lines. Once you take this nut off, you pull the line loose. Same with this nut. Take this nut off, pull that line off. The compressor comes out. Okay. Wiggle it back and forth until it cuts loose. Now we should be free as the breeze. There we go, folks. What's that, guys? Oh, that's for the, what the hell? The cap off of something fell down there and melted to it. Is that what it looks like? Weird. There's the wiring that's all chewed up. I believe it was Brad Pitt who said, "What's in the box?" Let's find out what's in the box. Instructions. Denso, by the way, is the factory compressor for Honda elements. I think most Hondas, probably. This one was about 200 bucks from Rock Auto. 250 with shipping and all that good stuff. Take a look, it's got the same casting marks and everything. It's the same part. We are going to have to take this fitting off, or off of our junkyard one, and put on here. So one of the things that comes with this is new O-rings. That's good. I see the wonderful shipping job smashed my plug. That sucks. I think I can still use it, and I'll probably just order another one. I could send it back, but I don't want to keep messing with this. This stud is okay. That'll work for what we need. We need to get these two little bolts out, and probably that bolt, and swap this over. We'll be good to go. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. This is that little stupid 5.5 millimeter that Honda likes to use on some things. There's that one. Tiny little bolt. This bolt's giving me some fits because it's like one of you northern guys. It's got some rust on it. That is a 6-point. No joy, guys. We need to salvage this little manifold piece, and I can't get that bolt out. So what we're gonna do is drill it, folks. Drill, baby, drill. Hopefully I got enough I can grab now. Yeah, I do. Patience, grasshopper. The other reason that I'm working back here on the back tailgate is because, well, one, I'm in the shade, and two, I don't want all these metal shavings in my brand new compressor. All right. Well, there it is, folks. Now we can use our manifold. Clean all of this, put new O-rings in it, make sure there's no metal shavings in it. I'll take my air hose and blow it out. Now it's time to put this onto here. Pull this piece out. This plastic thing is just to keep it ready. If Denso is going to give me an O-ring, I'm going to use the Denso O-ring. There we go. We're going to use a little bit of this oil to lubricate this. Oops, wrong way. There we go. I drilled the hell out of that bolt, right? So what am I going to do to hold this in? I'm going to use this bolt that was holding that in with the much bigger 10 millimeter head. Whoops. There we go. It's going to give me this flange to push down on the manifold. Should hold it in much better, frankly. Might have to use one over here, but definitely don't have to use one on the other side. No, this will work. I think this will work. So there's our new 10mm mod. How about that? How about a mod for today's stuff? Get rid of this piece. Let's see. All right, so let's go swap this out. Boing. That one's too big. One's way too big out of the new gasket kit over here. Let's go with the other one. Yeah. There we go. That's it. Being very careful with our expensive and beautiful new compressor. Go ahead and run the nuts on that hold the hoses in place so we don't lose our good gasket seal that we just got. Want to make sure all these hoses are ready to go. Snug down good and tight. That one's good. This other one, these are both 10mm. Again, I'll mention it. All right. So now that you got the compressor hanging back on its hanger, it's time to put these 4 bolts back in. I'm going to show you this. These bolts are 2 very different sizes. Long bolts go in the top, short bolts go in the bottom. If you try and put the long bolts in the bottom, well, they won't tighten up. You'll probably mess something up. And this is literally, it hangs up here on a hanger. So when you go to put this back in, move it around until you feel it kind of catch, and then look and see if your bolts look like they're all flat against the mount. That one started. Let's see, where's my other short one? There it is. 2 long ones over there. Now let's get the top ones wiggled up in there. They're a little fiddly. Especially if you get bigger hands. But there goes that one. That wasn't too bad. Quiet, Albie. I'm talking over here. Hey. Albie feels like he's missing out. The other long bolt goes up towards the passenger side. 12mm. Once we've got all 4 bolts in, we hook up our wire, which I'm going to have to kind of tweak together because mine's broke. Now it's time to run the subframe back up. I'll start by tightening up some of these rear bolts. By the way, guys, I'm not on jack stands, I'm on ramps. You don't have to have this thing on jack stands to do this. Let's see if that's enough to get the front bolts in. Not yet, not yet. I may need a jack to push this back up, we'll see. There we go. All right, running the back bolts up is enough to get the front bolts started. Now we run the front bolts up. I hope this works. It's hot. Once the subframe's completely bolted back up, it's time to put the front motor mount bolt back in. I had to wiggle mine around to get it to go in. Once the compressor's installed, we vacuumed down the system. This entire vacuum kit cost $100 off of eBay, and that's going to suck all the moisture out of the system. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on this. Instead, I'm going to put a link to a video that I think is probably one of the best ones done by Chris Fix. That's going to be in the description. Check that out. Charging the system. Had to make up my own hose. How about that? figure out how much Freon you're going to need. These tend to come in 12-ounce cans, and you're going to need just under 20 ounces. So you need 2 cans of this, but you're not going to use all of it. If you use all of 2 cans, you've overcharged your system, see? Wow, kids, I gotta tell you, so much nicer having an air conditioner than not having an air conditioner, especially where I live. A couple things I want to cover. The compressor that I ordered from Rock Auto is a brand new Denso factory Honda compressor. Denso is the company that makes the compressors for the Honda. That compressor requires lubricating oil in the system to lubricate the compressor. It comes with the oil in it, but it might be too much for the Honda Element. Read the instructions that come with that compressor and adjust it accordingly. You might have to take just a little bit out because the air conditioning system on a Honda Element really isn't very big. If you feel like a repair that requires you to drop the subframe is intimidating, don't. It's not intimidating. It's easy to drop the subframe, especially if you're not taking out those back 2 bolts, which we're not for this job. If you have to drop the entire subframe, you might need a buddy to help you get it back up there and line it up. You might want a jack or a jack stand or something like that. I did it all without a jack, and I'm an old fart. If I can do this, you can. The whole deal cost me about $400, buying all the tools that I needed to do it and the parts. If you feel like skipping the vacuum part to charge your system, it will work if you just use those little cheese ball cans. But if you're leaving moisture in your system, you're probably not going to get a lot of life out of it. It's probably going to fail. So it's worth spending the $100 for the vacuum pump and pulling down a vacuum on it for half an hour to make sure that the moisture is all pulled out of the system. But ultimately, this job is something that I think intimidates a hell of a lot of people, and it really shouldn't. It's just not that hard, guys. You can do this, I promise.